everyone, Monique here, Little Gems Creations 1. Today we are going to be making another extra small dog sweater, and we'll be working from the belly up. We'll start that in just a moment. Hi everyone, Monique here with Little Gems Creations 1. Today we're going to be making an extra small dog sweater. You're going to need a 5mm crochet hook. You're going to need a pair of scissors. You're going to need 2 colors of yarn. I am using Red Heart Comfort. This is a medium weight 4-ply. And the color is white opal. This is the same brand, but I threw out the labels, so main thing is that it's the same weight. So to get started, we are going to make a chain. Okay, so we're gonna make a chain of 40. So to make a chain, I cross my yarn and pull my yarn through, and we're gonna do 40. Okay? So you do that and meet me back. Okay, so I've got 40 stitches. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go back to that very first chain, and we're gonna slip stitch into it. And I'm working outside today because it's a beautiful day, and wouldn't you know it, as soon as I came outside, my neighbor started mowing his lawn. Isn't that awesome? Oh, maybe he stopped. Okay, so we are going to chain up 2, and we are going to do half double crochets all the way around. Okay, so to do a half double crochet, yarn over into the stitch. Oh, hold on. Let's try that again. So we chained up 2. We are turning our work. So you see how we have our little hearts here, like I call them hearts. They kind of look like a heart. See? Okay, so we're not working on those. We are turning the work so we see the bumps. See the bumps on the back? We are going to go into those bumps. And we're doing half double crochets into those bumps. It's a little bit tricky to do, but in the long run it'll make what we're doing afterwards easier. So to do a half double crochet, you're going yarn over into the bump, yarn through, yarn over, and then through all 3 loops. Okay, let's do it again. Yarn over into the bump, pull through, yarn over through all 3 bumps. Okie dokie. You're going to want to do this for 40. So meet me back once you've got 40. And do not count that chain 2 as a stitch. It is not counted as a stitch. 40 stitches. So now I'm going to go into that second chain on my chain up 2. Okay, second chain, chain up 2, and I'm doing a slip stitch. Now I'm going to chain up 3, 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to skip the first stitch, and then I'm going to go in the next stitch and do a double crochet. Okay, now the one I skipped, I'm going back to pick up, and I'm doing another double crochet. Okay. So now the next stitch, I'm going to skip 1 and go into the next one. And then I'm going to go back and pick up the one I missed. Okay, so just a refresher on double crochet, yarn over into the stitch, pull through, yarn over through 2 loops, yarn over through 2 loops. And then we go back to the one we skipped, pull through, yarn over through 2 loops, yarn over through 2 loops. So what we're getting here is a bit of an X. See that? Okay. So I want you to do this all the way around. So skip 1 and then go back for the one you skipped, and we're doing this all the way around. Whoops. I went through too many loops. There we go. Okay, so do that all the way around. Meet me back. So I've done 40. So now when I did that first row, I slip stitched into my chain. So for this row, I'm going to slip stitch into my stitch. And this just prevents my stitches from going all wonky. Now for the next row, we're going to do a single crochet. So yarn through in, go through the stitch, pull your yarn through, yarn over, through the 2 loops, and that's a single crochet. So this row with the double crochet crossed and the single crochet is a pattern. So I want you to do those 2 rows until you have a total, counting this row, of 10 rows, okay? So that should be, you should be ending with this row, I believe, right? Okay, so 10 rows total, including that foundation row that we did, okay? So do that, meet me back. Okay, so we're back, and I've done my 10 rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now I am going to slip into that stitch, because if we were doing it, the short row, the single crochet was into the chain, and the double crochet should have been into the stitch. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, we chained up 1. Our next row, we're gonna pick up 20 single crochets. So not counting that chain 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Okay, now I'm working just on these 20 stitches. I'm going to chain up 3, and we're going to do our cross double crochet again, okay? So turn your work. So we're going to go skip 1, go into the next one, go back for the one you skipped, and we're just going to continue with our pattern, okay? So that row of single crochet counts as row 1, and we're doing a total of 6 rows. So do that and meet me back. I've done my 6 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm gonna make my loop big. I'm gonna cut a tail. Oh, drop my crochet hook. I'm gonna pull the tail through the loop. Okay. Next, I'm gonna go pick up my crochet hook that I dropped, and then I'll be back. I'm back. See, crochet hook. Okay, so we pulled that. We're not pulling it really tight because we're gonna have to pick it apart later. We're gonna go over here. Now, see where the stitch is in there? We're gonna go in there, attach our yarn So I'm just going to pull the yarn through and then chain up 1. Now we're going to pick up 20 single crochets across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Okay, now we're going to chain up 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, to keep in pattern, we want to do the double crochet row, but we have to decrease on each row, each side of each row. So here's how we're going to decrease for the cross row. Yarn over into the stitch, pull through, yarn over through 2 loops. We have 2 loops still on the crochet hook. Yarn over into the next stitch, pull through, yarn over through 2 loops. We have 3 loops. Yarn over, go through all 3 loops. That is turning those 2 stitches into 1. And then we're going to continue in our pattern, which is skip 1, go to the next, and then go back for the one we skipped. We're going to do this all the way to the other end of the row. So that 2 stitches we turned into 1 counts as 1 stitch. So this will be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now this row is going to end up with 18 stitches. So this is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So that means we're on our last 2 stitches, right? So we have to decrease them. So yarn over into the stitch, pull through, yarn over through 2 loops. 2 loops remaining. Yarn over into the next stitch, pull through 2 loops, 3 stitch on your hook. Yarn over through all 3 stitches, and that brought it down to 18. Now to decrease on the single crochet row, we're going to chain up 1, turn our work. This one's super simple. In, pull through, go through all 3 loops. That turned 2 stitches into 1. So we count that as 1 stitch, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now this row is going to have 16, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So these next 2 stitches we're turning into 1. So pull through, in the next stitch pull through 3 loops on your hook, and we're turning those into 1. So we had 20, 18, 16, chain up 3 because we're doing our double crochet row again. And we're gonna keep doing these 2 rows until we're down to 10 stitches. Do that and meet me back. Okay, so I did those, so I have 10 stitches. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reach across to that chain up 3 from the back, and I'm gonna slip stitch into the chain up, the 3rd chain of the chain up 3 at the back. See, so now that attached those, so there's our little leg hole. So we're gonna chain up 1, and we're gonna make a big loop. Now that one that I told you not to tie really tight, we're gonna pick apart. Okay, pick apart here. And we're gonna do the same thing. Go into the chain 3. Okay, go into the chain 3. Use the tail and do a slip stitch. Pull the tail through the loop, pull tight this time, and you can just tuck that inside. Okay, so now continuing in the pattern, we are going to do 30 single crochets around. Okay, and then our next row will be the crossed double crochets, and our final round for the neck will be half double crochets. Okay, so 30 single, 30 of the crossed double crochets, and then 30 half double crochets like we did for that very first row. And then we'll come back and we'll start our skirt. See at the corner here, I came where I had done my knot. So let me see how many stitches I have. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm going right into that next row to do my single crochet. So that's 11. And like I said, you want to end up with 30. Okay? So single crochet row, double crochet crossed, and then a half double crochet row. And then meet me back and we'll start on our skirt. So I've done my 3 rows. So I did my single crochet, my double crochet cross, and then my half double crochet neck. Now I'm going to slip stitch into the stitch, or no, the chain. Come on now. There we go. And I'm going to cut, pull through the loop, and pull tight. Okay, so that is the body of our sweater. There's the little armholes. There's the back. Okay, so now we're gonna do the next step. So I want you to find your tail from when you first began, okay? Now you need 2 stitch markers. I'm just gonna use little bits of my colored yarn. Okay, so this right here, whoops, this is where I started, okay? So I want to count 10 stitches from there. And if you see, because we went on the back loops, it actually looks like proper stitches, okay? So we want to go in 10, or no, sorry, go in 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm gonna put, you can put a stitch marker, I'm just gonna put a colored yarn there, okay? We wanna count 10 from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and we're gonna put stitch marker on that 10th one. Okay, so now that's where we're gonna stop for our skirt. Okay, so that'll leave that open so there's a little spot where they can go to the bathroom and not get this skirt all dirty. So we are going to use the purple now, and going into where we have that stitch marker, we're going to attach our yarn with a chain 2. 1, 2. We're going to pull out that stitch marker now, and we're going to do 2 half double crochets in there, and we're going to do 2 half double, silly yarn, we're going to do 2 half double crochets in every stitch all the way to our other stitch marker, doing 2 double crochets in that stitch marker, sorry, 2 half double crochets in that stitch marker stitch as well. And then we're going to go back and forth on this row afterwards, just in singles. Okay, so let me try this again. So our first row is going to be 2 in each stitch, but our next 2 rows after that will be single stitches in each stitch, okay? Does that make sense? So 2 in each stitch, and then the next row will be 1 in each stitch and 1 in each stitch, and we're going to do a total of 3 rows. So I'll do 1 row and then I'll come back and show you what I mean for the next row. Okay, so I went all the way to my other stitch marker so I can pull that one out, and this is what we're looking at right now. Okay, so now because it is half double crochet, you are going to chain up 2, and you're just going to do a single half double crochet in every stitch across, and we're going to do 2 rows like that, and then meet me back. Okay, so I moved indoors because it started to rain. So I've done my 3 rows, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to cut my yarn and pull the tail through tight. Okay. Now there's more to our skirt. So starting right here. Okay, now I gotta show you this. Okay, so we started here, okay, right underneath this post. So when I spread out my post, you see how there's kind of a spot right there? So not here, but up here. We are going to attach our yarn there. Okay, and chain up 2. 1, 2, and we are going to do 2 half double crochets there. Okay, around in that space, okay? And then we'll go to the next one. So, see, when you spread the stitches, we have that spot, and then we have those 2 spots. We're going in here. See where my hook is? And we're going to do, we're going to do 2 half double crochets in that spot. We're going to do that all the way around till we're at this spot, because there's 2 layers to the skirt, a purple layer and a white layer. So do that, and you're going to do 3 rows just like we did for this little skirt, and then meet me back. Okay, so I'm back. I've done my 3 rows. See, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to cut my yarn and pull my tail through. Okay, so we can set this aside for right now. Next part we're going to do is the flower. So we're going to cross our yarn. We are going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice I left a little bit of a tail. Okay, we're going to go back into that first stitch. Okay, and do a slip stitch. We're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to go do a slip stitch into the center here, right here. Okay. So while I'm doing that, I'm catching my tail around the back, okay? So into the center, and we're doing a slip stitch. Now that's creating part of our petal. We're going to do this 5 times. Chain 3, slip stitch in the center, catching the tail. 3, 2, 3, slip stitch into the center, catching our tail. 1, 2, 3, slip stitch into the center, catching our tail. So we've got 3, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch into the center, catching our tail. 1, 2, 3, slip stitch into the center. So that gives us 5, right? Right. Let me count. 1. What the heck did I do? Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's why. Okay, 3. I didn't go into the center, I went into a petal. Just do it right, don't do like me. Slip stitch, chain 3, slip stitch. Okay, so 5, and we don't have a weird spot. Okay, so now we are going to slip stitch into that first petal space. Okay, slip. We're going to chain 2, 1, 2. We're going to do 3 double crochets in that petal space. 1, 2, 3. We're going to chain 2, 1, 2. We're going to go back into that petal and slip stitch. Now we're going to the next petal space, slip stitch, chain 2, 1, 2, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, slip stitch into that petal space, slip stitch into the next petal space, chain 2, 1, 2, 3 double crochets in that petal space. So you do this for all 5 petals. 3, and then meet me back, okay? Okay, so I just slip stitched into there, into my final petal, and now I'm gonna slip stitch in, whoops, that's my tail. Don't use your tail. Slip stitch into that first one again, make a big loop, cut, pull through the loop, tight. Okay, so there is the first layer of our flower. Okay, now we're gonna take our purple. Now we're gonna go in the space and in the other space. You see what I've done there? So let's do it again. In the space, into the other space. And I'm gonna attach my purple, okay, with a slip stitch, okay? I'm gonna chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, I'm going from this space to the next space, and I'm doing a slip stitch, okay? Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm going from this space to this space, and I'm doing a slip stitch. And then I'm going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I'm going from this space to that space, slip stitch, chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then I'm going from this space to this space, slip stitch. Whoop, there we go. And we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we've gone around all 5. We should have 5 loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this one's going to make 5. So this one, we are just going to go back around. So back around this one. We're going to do a slip stitch. Okay. Now, kind of like we did the front, we're going to slip stitch into the petal. Okay. We're going to chain 3. 1, 2. Sorry, chain 2. We're going to do 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chain 2, 1, 2. Slip stitch in that same flower space. Okay. Slip stitch in the next flower space. Chain 2, 1, 2, and then do 5. Now do this for all the petals. Meet me back. Okay, so I'm on my chain 2 of my last petal. I do a slip stitch into that one, and then I go a slip stitch into that very first petal just to secure it. Then I make a loop, cut my yarn, pull the tail through. Okay, so this is our flower. So we have a peekaboo purple on our, now we're going to put the flower. Okay. And now we're going to make some leaves. So find some scrap green and I'll mute you back to show you how to make leaves. And now we're going to make the leaves. Okay, you're going to make 2 of these. So you're starting by crossing your yarn. Chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so now not this stitch, sorry, not this stitch, but this stitch, you're going to go in and do a single crochet. Next one, you're doing a double crochet. And the next 4, you're doing treble crochet. Treble crochet, you go around twice. You go into the stitch, pull your yarn through, yarn over, through 2 loops, yarn over, through 2 loops, yarn over, through 2 loops. You're doing 4 of those. So that was 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you're going to do a double crochet, a half double crochet, and a single crochet in that very last one. Okay. Now leave quite a bit of a tail because you're going to use it to sew on. Okay. And pull your tail through your loop. And there is our leaf. Okay, so we're gonna have something like this, and we'll do the other one. So do that. Yeah, so one like this. I don't know. Maybe we'll put, I don't know what we'll do, but we're gonna make 2 leaves. So make another leaf, meet me back, and then we'll start hiding threads and sewing things on, okay? For your leaf, actually, you know what? You can hide all the threads on this one. You can hide the threads on the flower. Now for the flower, if you did it right, if you pull your center, because you were catching it with all your things, it should pull tight. See how mine pulled tight? And if it doesn't, no big deal. You can sew a button or something to make that center part go blank, or you're putting it on white so you won't even notice anyway. So you can hide the threads on that, hide the threads on your dress, dog sweater dress. Hide the tail, not the long sewing one, but the tail on your leaves, and then meet me back. Okay, so I hid all my threads, and this is what I'm thinking for my placement. Okay, so what you're gonna do, you're gonna need some pins. So you want to pin your leaves where you want them. Okay. Okay. Now, double check. Is that where you want it? Okay. Yeah, I think that's where I want it. So, yeah. Okay, so then we're just gonna take our long tails that we left for ourselves, and we're gonna whip stitch this on. Okay, so whip stitch is you just take from the back, go through the front. Okay, so take from the back, go through the front. Make sure you're not sewing it to the back, because that would be very, very, very bad. Take from the back, go through the front. We're just gonna do this all around our leaf. And I'm kind of going with the stitch on this side. It won't be so easy on the other side because you won't be able to see the stitches easily. And this is usually about when I poke myself with my needle. Try not to do that. It's not good. We want to try and make sure that point stays pointy. So I'm going to put a stitch, just a straight stitch right from the point. And then do the other side. So sew on both your leaves and then meet me back. Okay guys, we're in the home stretch. It feels like this sweater has taken forever, but it really hasn't. We're awesome. We take good care of our fur babies, and don't let anyone tell you different. Okay, so now to put on the flower, decide your placement. I'm picking this. Now what I've done is I've put purple thread, because I'm just going to tack down the purple petals, okay? So what I mean when I say tack down, so I'm putting it through and leave a tail in there. And I'm just going to go through like the middle stitch. Okay, and I'm going to go through it twice. Okay, can you see it? Okay, so see right there. Then when this petal's down, you won't even see it. Then I'm going to reach to the next petal. Sorry, I'm doing this around a camera. And don't pull tight because you don't want to distort your sweater. Again, I'm putting a couple of stitches, just like you would a button. Okay. And I'm only doing this on the purple petals. And then I'm going to go to the next one. Same thing. Just going to put a couple of stitches. This also gives what I like to call the flower like movement, so that okay. Now make sure it's flat. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna tack it there. And then the final petal. Whoops. Only I could do that. The final petal, I'm going to make sure that it's tacked onto the leaf so that if there is movement, you're not going to see the leaf. You know, like if it stretches a bit over the dog or whatever. And there we go. Okay. Now, I want to show you what the inside looks like. So, if you're beating yourself up because your inside isn't beautiful, currently that's what my inside looks like. See that there? So, I'm going to take these two ends, put a little knot. Okay. If you're worried that that's going to be an issue, it might get snagged on the dog. I don't think it would, but you can simply take your thread and just go along. As long as see how I'm staying with the purple of my flower, so it won't show through the other side. And then I'll just catch this and go around it so that it, you know what I'm saying? So I went around it so it won't get snagged. I know I probably overthink these things, but I had lots of purple anyway. And I'll just give it a few stitches. And then we'll get all the way back, and that'll just give it that much extra back stitching so that it won't unravel, which is one of my biggest fears. I've always terrified. I've never had anything unravel. In fact, things that I purposely wanted to take apart took me hours to take apart after I do all my little safeguards because I do it too well. So here we go. And we'll come all the way back. And if you want, you can do another little knot. Okay. There we go. Never cut where you're not. So do a couple more little stitches here. See, this is me being paranoid about things coming apart. I'm just gonna do a couple of stitches. Okay, and then we are going to cut. And we are done this sweater. It took a long time, but guys, it's worth it. Look at how beautiful this little thing is. Right? Here, maybe if I go further back. Look at how beautiful that is. Won't your little fur baby look gorgeous in that? Here, I'll go back down. Yeah, there you go. So don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. And yeah, have a great day. I hope you like this tutorial. Okie dokie, guys. Bye now.